welcome to another edition of Kyle Meredith with. It's the interview series presented by WFPK at WFPK.org, Consequence, and the Consequence Podcast Network. Thanks as always for making your way here, for checking out the series. Of course, you know what to do. If you like what you see, what you hear, hit that subscribe button. I put out 3 new interviews every single week, so it's a great way to keep up with all of your favorite artists. And I'm so excited to have him back. G-Eazy is here with a new
Yes,
album,
yes.
Freak Show. Hello.
Yes, feels good to be back.
And it's been fun catching up all these past and seeing the variations of music that you've put out, especially over the past 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
This one is no different. Great record. Compliments first.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Finally.
And there's a lot going on. Before I get into the record, just I was perusing your socials and I see you hanging out with Aaron Judge
Yeah.
and Yankee stuff going on there. I see you hanging out with Jerry
Yeah.
Seinfeld of the Mets. And I'm thinking, how in the world is this guy allowed back in Oakland right now?
Oh man. I'm I'm good for life. And a deep part of me obviously misses home, and the Bay Area is deeply, deeply ingrained in my fibers and my identity and my everything. But it's also, I think, important for maturation and growth and evolving as a human is to leave home. And for me, leaving California, New York was uh New York was a place that I think through music and through film and culturally, I just always wanted to be in. Like I remember as a kid listening to Illmatic and just closing my eyes and imagining New York.
Mhm.
Um and I just came to a point where I was like, just take the leap, just go for it, just try it for a year, see if it's what you think or if you can take it. And I've really, really, really loved living here.
Yeah, it's interesting because one of the last times we were talking about Paris,
Yeah, yeah.
and which makes an appearance. I should say France makes an appearance on this album, but
Mhm.
um, but do you find that New York has the same kind of influence that France had before?
Well, I mean, it's a wide world, and I consider myself very, very like fortunate, very blessed, very lucky to have gotten to see so much of the world. Because getting to travel is a beautiful thing, and getting to experience the world, not everybody gets to. And I think of myself as a sponge. I'm curious to explore the world and to be exposed to as much as possible and soak it all up. So, you know, every every place has its own unique kind of energy and culture and history, and what those vibrations give you, and what, for me, how it inspires the music.
So, and I don't know the timeline, like when you moved there and when these songs were done, but is
Mm.
there a solid New York thumbprint on these new music?
Yeah, there's definitely a solid New York thumbprint on the album. Um, and it's almost by design. It's like I left California, and to move to New York with the intention of just go soak it all up, and then tell stories about it on the record. Like I did a lot of it in New York and London and Paris, and I think that's reflected in the music.
Yeah. Well, this is it's definitely, as they say these days, a new era musically. I would
Mhm.
like we can hear that. Beyond location, sense of place, if you're able to verbalize it, like what's defining this new season for you?
Well, Freak Show, it's like, the idea is welcome to this place where you can let your guard down, you don't have to, you can be yourself, it's all a welcome. We're all a little mad here. I think it's all of my music has obviously been deeply personal, but it's more self-accepting and less self-critical, I think. And it's just brutally, bluntly honest in a big way.
Why is that? Like, why now?
Um, Growth, continuing to grow, to know myself better, to learn, to love, to heal, to mature, to accept. And I wanted the record to feel empowering and positive and welcoming and human, like deeply, deeply human and vulnerable. And kind of like normalizing the level of like, freak shows. Like, we all got something. We're all like, nobody's perfect. And I think, there's such a, especially in pop music or hip hop or, commercial, whatever is like to project this like perfect image or this, and that's not really real.
And maybe like looking at the track anxiety,
Yeah.
listening to the track anxiety. I mean, I don't think you can be more real than that. I mean, you lay it all, there's no hiding in that song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't know, is it difficult to kind of open the doors that wide?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's safe to say it is difficult. But once you do it, it's like it's liberating. It's empowering,
Uh,
because you just own it. Like and you embrace it as opposed to hiding it or trying to push it down. And then you realize that you're not the only one with the issues. And I think hip hop is very like just the structure of the music, the way the verses are, there's a lot of space for a lot of lyric. A pop song, if you looked at the lyrics, it may be this short, but a rap song, look at the lyrics, all the verses. So it's like there's a whole lot of space to be very descriptive and very transparent and direct. It's almost like a journal. And I just use that space to just open all the way up and tell the truth.
yeah. And for you and me to have talked about your various influences through the years, and especially, I mean, I still get, you're the only person I know that's really tackled Lazarus from David Bowie, and like I still can't believe that, and we even talked about it. So it's,
Yeah.
but what you're talking about with rap and hip hop, but and even from the first song with a superstar, and I
Mm.
kept thinking because you feel the Cypress Hill moment coming
Yeah, yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
feel it and you feel it, and then it hits.
Man, so I called Be Real to, obviously get the OG's blessing for using that iconic chorus, of his. And I was like, I was like a little nervous. I was like, I mean, we grew up on Cypress Hill, like they're legends. And he listened to the song and he hit me back. He was like, "Yo, homie, that shit hard. Yeah, hey, homie, yeah, that shit fire, bro. Yeah, for sure." It was so dope. Like,
That's
and
good.
that blessing. But like, but take a song like that and it's like it starts with this like, ringleader of a, dark circus of the freak show, narration, and then it has like this classical music, and then you know it gets to Cypress Hill hook or like anxiety where I'm like interpolating, sampling the Clash, London Calling, and then but the drums are like contemporary like trap drums, but like so it's like I've always loved taking all the stuff I've been exposed to my whole life, all the music I'm into, all the influences, and kind of, you know, like turning that all into, an amalgam of, this is what makes up Gerald is this, you know, wide, gumbo of a whole lot of ingredients.
And it's a lot of times I'm sure it works because it works. It sounds good and it works. But when you're thinking of it, if you think of it at all in
Oh my gosh.
such a genre, like
Mm.
can you do you understand why the rock stuff works in the way it does with the trap stuff, etc.?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I could explain it like mathematically of, tempo wise. And, if you just replace the drum sounds, but you kept the same pattern or, timing and tempo, and you just put, you know, like rap drum sounds instead of like, you know, rock drums. And you took a song, at this tempo from, this whole genre or world, but if the tempo was the same as a rap song, or if you half time the tempo, to make it make sense. So I mean, I can connect the dots and see where, because at the end of the day, it's just some math. I mean, you take a chord progression or a top line and you can stretch it faster, slower, and then past that, what sounds you choose to what you want the bass to sound like or what you want the drums to sound like, and you can, kind of shape it into a rap song or a, you know, rock song. whatever.
Because yeah, because the era I grew like one thing I always love and sort of look forward to is finding out which songs you talk about interpolate, but you actually sample on here too, which is kind of a lost art a lot of the time. I
Mm,
miss sampling. I never thought I would miss. Now, there's samples and we talk about samples and then there's sampling,
yeah.
and grabbing those old songs, crate digging, as we used
Yeah,
to
yeah,
say,
yeah, yeah.
you know, like how did it like are you I don't know. Do you find that do you want to do that? Are you specifically thinking of those moments, like what you're looking for?
Yeah, I mean, my ears are just always perked. Like I'm just like, um, I've like if I'm in an Uber and he has just a random, station playing or something. There's been times where like I was on the way to the studio and I heard a song I'd never heard before and I just quickly Shazammed it. And when I got to the studio, I had plans of working on one song, but I was just like, yeah, yeah, that could wait. You got to hear this song I heard in this random Uber, like, and we loaded it up, chopped it, sampled it, and made it something completely different. Or I could be at Walgreens and, Shazam something or like, and, you know, or whatever.
Yeah, it just makes for fun seek and find on
Yeah,
the record.
yeah. And like also like I know what I like in a song. So, it doesn't like I don't have to look in the obvious places, every time to it could be something from a whole different cultural universe or genre or world, but the elements that I like, I know how to spot those. And I'm like, let
Yeah,
me take these 4 bars, loop them, slow it down, put my drums under them, and now you have a whole different interpretation of, you know,
right.
yeah.
And then name drop the Beatles and Dylan in there.
Yeah.
And that's funny, we're still talking about that first track too. And it's like, and you want to be in showbiz. Like that's
Mhm.
the start. Like,
Yeah.
it's almost this warning, you
Yeah.
know, that you like what is that warning right there? And how does it speak for what all the stuff that comes next?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, "Meh, you're gonna be on showbiz. You're gonna be a big star. Your name on a marquee." But there's this kind of like, it's it goes hand in hand with the concept of freak show. It's like, yeah, it's welcoming if you belong here, like if you're, really real. But, if you're not for this, then maybe this isn't for you.
Yeah. You coming off of the movie All Souls, when you're doing that stuff you're talking about, when you have a track like this, are those two connected? Do you find that connection? Like one happens because of the other?
What do you mean?
Just that, here you are in the film world,
Mm.
and kind of messing around with it. And this feels very cinematic,
Yeah, yeah.
filmatic.
Well, I think that's just my love of film. Um, I'm I say this all the time, but like I think I'm as in love with film as I am music.
Mhm.
Um, but one of my favorite things to do as I'm working on a song is to play like a movie trailer on mute, and see if it feels like it fits with the song and it kind of enhances it to like that's what I'm going for. But no, I mean I love film.
Yeah. I want to check this one out also, as I haven't seen that yet, but watching that trailer and watching you in it, like, how did you find the rhythm of that? Because this is a dark character. This is a real
Yeah,
dark.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean it was a challenging experience for me. I mean, like I've been doing music for a very, very long time. I'm not gonna date myself, but it's like all of a sudden you're a rookie in another sphere, another space, and you're kind of like starting over, and you're the like you're trying to get the ropes, you're trying to figure things out. You're like it doesn't come as naturally to you. It takes more, and it's humbling in a good way, I think.
Yeah, more of that on the way.
Hopefully, yeah,
It's funny how because people think that the industries, music and film, are so similar, and they're really different as far as like how you cast the rod out, how you cast the line out. Why would you cast a rod? Cast the
yeah,
line out. you know, I don't know. And sometimes you got a good manager. I know that takes care of it, I guess what I'm getting to is how proactive are you right now with next step on that side acting?
with film. I mean, it's you get what you give, right? And all things in life. That's kind of like a rule I'd try to live by. It's like, if opportunities aren't coming to you or if you're not receiving like, how much did you give to it? How hard did you try? how much did you apply yourself? And I also know my limits of like bandwidth and energy. And for me, this album, nothing meant more than this album.
Mm.
So I was all in, you know, recording constantly. We did 200 plus songs. Um, just digging, re-recording songs. I mean, there's certain songs in the album I spent a year like working on because I'd go back to it. I'd reapproach the lyrics. I'd reapproach the beat. I'd try it differently. I'd try it differently just because I knew there was a song there. And even when my friends were like, "Yo, you're still working on this song," like maybe it's not it, and I'd be like, "I know there's something there," so I just kept working through it. But when you're that obsessively dedicated to one craft, then that comes at you don't have the time and energy to also be obsessively dedicated to self tapes and reading scripts and auditioning and stuff. So
Yeah. It feels like when I look at like the image shots and the first music video, like there's still a chance to engage with that side of you.
yeah.
Like I think well, I was looking at the comment section. Don't ever read the comment section.
Mm.
And they're just people are just like, what's with the the eyeliner or
Mhm.
whatever. And I'm thinking like
Yeah.
this is some cool Depeche Mode shit going on here. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what I
yeah.
saw. But like for you, like is that an opportunity to embody something, a character, even if that's
Yeah,
what?
yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you have Bowie like hanging right next to you, Prince hanging right next to you, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
People who pushed the boundaries, who, went out there, it's like, and I just feel like looking back, not in a bad way or any type of regret, but I can recognize where I've like played it safe and and that's and there's been so much inside of me that I've never had the chance to kind of like push and explore and really express in terms of you know being a little bit more left, like a little bit more like be more progressive, be more experimental, be more like you know be the character, be this is art. Like you can be whoever you want to be, like create, you know what I mean,
Right.
and just push things a little harder. And yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you'll always have the people
But
who
you can't expect that everyone's gonna get it, That's the
and
thing. It's like if you play it very close to the middle and safe, and yeah, you have a better chance of, but when you go out on a limb, I think the chance of reward is way higher, but the risk is,
that's where legends are made.
yeah, that's what legends are made. And I'm just like, yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yeah. I like watching it. I love listening to it. I always love talking to you at the same
Yeah.
time. Freak Show is so much fun to listen to, and this is such a great step, another great step that you got going on here.
Thank you.
Man, thanks again for taking the time.
Yes. This is tradition, man. We do this over and over.
And thanks to my guest. Also, thanks to you for checking out the episode in the series. Before you get out of here, hit that subscribe button. Again, you get 3 brand new interviews every single week. New one every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at right here on YouTube, or of course anywhere in podcast land, including iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podchaser, NPR, or WFPK.org as well. A great way to keep up with your favorite artists and discover new ones as well. Then after that, actually head over to WFPK.org. That's where I do a show Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. It's an hour full of song premieres, music news, anniversary spins, bonus interviews, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern at WFPK.org. Consequence has your music and film news. You can also find me on the social media spots, Facebook, Instagram, mostly on Twitter. All 3 of them, the address is at Kyle Meredith. Do hope you like and follow along. That does it for another edition. I'm Kyle Meredith. I'll see you next time.